Hey, yo, what's the deal? This your boy Taz from Pro Wrestling Tag, you know what I mean? As of this recording, it is 4:47 p.m., April 20th, 2026. You know what I mean? This is the only video of the day. And so it's the first and only video of the day. And before I get into the topic, I gotta address something. Because it seems like some of you motherfuckers are slow. Like, seriously. When I posted up a short of a banging ass female. It was her birthday, right? And I put in the caption, I thought she was 30, which I thought she was, right? And, in the video, someone put 40 in her candles, but no, she's actually 50. I'm like, God damn, like, she is gorgeous. So a lot of these motherfuckers under my comment section saying, oh, thank you, happy birthday, like, that's not me, you dumb fucks. Seriously. I'm like, God damn. And then I had to pin a comment under it. You know what I mean? So that some of you stupid motherfuckers get it. Shit, I wish I had a wife like that who looked like that. What? That's that black girl magic, bro. Seriously. Of course, what you hear in the background is me, washing dishes. I gotta cook later tonight anyway. But WrestleMania came and went, right? WrestleMania 2 was better than night 1. We had the unexpected Brock Lesnar retirement, right? After the match with him and Over, he just went and took his shoes off and his knee pads off and everything and said, fuck it, I'm calling it quits, right? And I thought he was going to retire at SummerSlam, but he retired at right? Night 2. Then, what else? Roman Reigns beat CM Punk and such. But what I was hearing all weekend, right, even yesterday, that WrestleMania is not the same. WrestleMania is, the essence. It's the true essence of WrestleMania isn't gone, right? And I have noticed some things too. Yes, I have noticed some stuff. As compared to both night 1 and 2, right? The commercials and everything else, right? And do I think some of the true essence is gone? I believe so, and I'll tell you why. Because there was really no backstage segments and such. It was just basically a sponsor fest. Right? WrestleMania was basically a sponsor fest and such. Right? And I think the way how they do things in ESPN is very different as opposed to how it would have been done with Peacock and everything else, right? And like I said, there was no what's his face? There was no true presence. There was no backstage interviews, backstage promos, none of that. And no true moments either. I mean, there were moments, but it wasn't like they were like, true. Like, I kind of noticed that during the last 2 nights, when there's no, like, the last true moment was when Cody fought Roman Reigns, right? And he beat Roman Reigns. He had all these people there to help him out, to become WWE champion. Yes, I have noticed that some of the, with TKO now owning WWE, it seems like some of the essence, yes, is kind of worn off. And I think it's not only with TKO. ESPN can also be put into it too. I think with ESPN, because again, ESPN is a sports network, right? They're not really they're a traditional sports network. They're not, a standard network like USA or TNT and such. You're dealing with a sport network, right? And so, those moments are unfortunately not going to be there because of how ESPN, wants their stuff, right? And so, again, like, you're getting sponsors and everything else. I will say this. At least Vince McMahon will give you a moment. And I can't believe I'm saying this, right? At least he'll make, remember WrestleMania, the show of the Immortals and such, right? But the last two nights for WrestleMania, I mean, it wasn't really, like I said, night two was better, but it wasn't really, it didn't have the true feel of WrestleMania. Like, those days are gone. Those days are long gone. They're long gone. You know what I mean? Because with WrestleMania, like during the time that Vince was running the company, yes, you was getting moment after moment after moment, right? Not so much now. Not so much now. And I think, again, people kind of got mad at not only the commercials, but also the short matches and such, right? 8 minutes, 7 minutes, and shit like that, right? And it did happen yesterday too. It did happen. But again, this is how it is now, unfortunately, right? If you think AEW is going to, do any better with that, you're sadly mistaken. You're sadly mistaken. Yeah, like, I kind of do feel like on the TKO, they have definitely lost some of their luster. In terms of, the feel of WrestleMania. And yes, 2 nights and such. And it was almost like night one was like a pre-show to what we got the next day. Right? It definitely was, it felt like that. It clearly felt like that and shit. And I don't know. I don't know, honestly. But this is how WWE is. WWE at this point, TKO is definitely trying to make WWE into UFC, right? So like I said, they're taking elements from UFC and bringing it onto WWE, especially like we're talking about ESPN and shit like that. And that's basically what you're getting now, unfortunately. You're getting that, and it's like, oh boy, no bueno. No bueno. Like I said, night 2 was better. Night 2 was a hell of a lot better. And now you know what to expect for night 1 and what to expect for night 2. And again, this is how WWE is being treated by TKO. Right? And you would think that oh well, WWE would be better with if Vince McMahon was there. Not necessarily. But I would give him credit though for this. It does make sense. Like at least he tried to make WrestleMania, right, special. That's basically what it's supposed to be about, right? And yes, was WrestleMania special in some aspects? Yes, of course. But again, this is how it is now. And then I'm seeing people bitch about the sponsors and shit, like in the ring and stuff. AEW does it. AEW does the shit, so why the fuck WWE can't? This is what you was expecting. Clearly, this was expected with WWE, right? On the TKO, with sponsors and all over the mats and on the fucking tables and shit. I'm surprised they didn't put. I'm surprised that they haven't put sponsors on the rest of the sites on their ring attire. I'm surprised they didn't do that. I'm surprised that haven't happened yet. Which I guarantee you it will. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you it will. But like I said, WrestleMania to me, this was not a bad WrestleMania. WrestleMania Night 2 saved It did save the whole program in general. It did and such. And I was expecting more to come out of WrestleMania, right? But I mean, listen, like the 3 outside spots that we got was Paige coming back, Bianca Belair pregnant, and Brock's retirement. Other than that, WrestleMania was night 1 was mid at best. It was mid, but like I said, I had a feeling that night 2 was going to make up for it, and it did. It really, really did. It did. You know what I'm saying? It did. But I kind of, like I said, I do kind of feel like the love for WrestleMania, like the true essence of WrestleMania is dead. But this is WWE's flagship show. WrestleMania is their flagship show. Now, do I think that's going to happen with SummerSlam and such? No, I don't think so. But because mind you, WrestleMania is the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. It is. It's not no fucking double or nothing or all out, all in. It's not no fucking all in. I mean, all in should be the Super Bowl of independent wrestling. Remember that? Remember these stupid fans who say, oh, well, all in should be the biggest event for all indie promotions. How the fuck did that go? How did that go? Huh? How the fuck did that go? Now, I mean, it went just as over as a government meal. Government meal. But anyway, guys, I'm about to be out. Hopefully there's some news that comes out this week. Again, like as of this recording, again, it's going to be very interesting to see, what happened on Raw, tonight, because, I'm looking forward to see, like what storylines happen, what storylines is going to take place. Now, this honestly should be the new beginning road to next year's WrestleMania. We all start over. Hopefully there's some surprises. I hope that there's some surprise, people making their debut and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hoping that happens. Like call-ups and new debuts like Evil and Takahashi and all that. You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, I'm about to be out. I'ma holler at y'all. Peace.